Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Today, for my devotional, I'd like to share from the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verses 5 to 10. And if you can, I want to encourage you to read these verses with me. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the river bank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her female slave to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she answered. So the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." As we can see from today's passage, the Hebrew child is found by the daughter of Pharaoh and rescued from the water by her. She had a compassion for him, although she knew that he was Hebrew, and she decides to save his life. After hearing all this, his mother was comforted and her worries turned into joy because her child was saved, and furthermore, she has this special privilege to nurse her own child. And this is how Moses was saved. And this can't be called a coincidence. And these events could not have been orchestrated by any human being. They were planned and carried out by God. It was God who allowed the daughter of Pharaoh to find the child and have compassion for him. And through Moses' life, God continued carrying out and fulfilling his plan to reveal his glory. In the same way, God not only has a plan for our lives, but also he is the one who carries out the plan, and he accomplishes his will for his glory. And as we continue to walk with God, I am confident that the Spirit of God would allow us to experience the glory of God's presence and his great work in our lives. A few days ago, I read a post in social media which greatly encouraged me, and I'd like to share that with you as well. If you are parents or grandparents, or if you are ministering in the lives of young children, I think this post can be very helpful as we continue to pray for them. Don't feel sorry for or fear for your kids because the world they are going to grow up in is not what it used to be. God created them and called them for the exact moment in time that they are in. Their life wasn't a coincidence or an accident. Raise them up to know the power they walk in as children of God. Train them up in the authority of His Word. Teach them to walk in faith, knowing that God is in control. Empower them to know that they can change the world. Don't teach them to be fearful and disheartened by the state of the world, but hopeful that they can do something about it. Every person in all of history has been placed in the time that they were in because of God's sovereign plan. He knew Daniel could handle the lion's den. He knew David could handle Goliath. He knew Esther could handle Haman. He knew Peter could handle persecution. He knows that your child can handle whatever challenge they face in their life. He created them specifically for it. Don't be scared for your children, but be honored that God chose you to parent the generation that is facing the biggest challenges of our lifetime. Rise up to the challenge. Raise Daniels, Davids, Esthers, and Peters. God isn't scratching his head wondering what he is going to do with this mess of a world. He has an army he is raising up to drive back the darkness and make him known all over the earth. Don't let your fear steal the greatness God placed in them. I know it's hard to imagine them as anything besides our sweet little babies, and we just want to protect them from anything that could ever be hard on them, but they were born for such a time as this.